Coast to Coast AM is a radio show that covers a plethora of paranormal topics, ranging from conspiracy theories to UFO sightings. The creator of the show, Art Bell, has spoken with a lot of callers during his time hosting the show, all of which have had some pretty crazy things to say. A legend from a previous video I covered, Mel's Hole, actually originated from this show.
One guy claims that he threw his departed canine down into the hole.
Oh, really?
And the guy that did it swears the dog actually came back to him.
There's one caller, however, that stands out from the others. But first, a quick message from our sponsor. There's a lot of great mobile games out there, but one of the most revolutionary RPG games of 2019 has just been released, and will easily climb its way to the top. The game Raid Shadow Legends is the most immersive gaming experience you'll find on a smartphone, to the point where it compares to console and PC games. The game is totally free and features an amazing storyline, awesome 3D graphics, and hundreds of champions to collect and customize. Look at how crazy the level of detail is on these champions. Raid is getting big real fast, so be sure to get in on this in time for the upcoming special launch tournament with crazy prizes. I love playing this game in my free time during my breaks from making videos. Make sure to join my clan too so we can play together. Just search for Scare Theater. Go to the description of this video now and download Raid Shadow Legends only through my link to get 50,000 silver immediately and a free epic champion, courtesy of the dev team. In 1997, a man called into the show sounding very frantic.
Online, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello, Art.
Yes.
Hi. I don't have a whole lot of time.
He expressed that he used to work in Area 51, and he had a very urgent message that he needed to relay.
Look, let's begin by finding out whether you're using this line properly or not.
Area 51.
Yeah, that's right. Were you an employee or are you now?
A former employee.
Former employee.
He goes on to talk about extra-dimensional beings that have infiltrated many aspects of the military.
Okay, what we're thinking of as aliens, Art, they're extra-dimensional beings. They are not what they claim to be. They have infiltrated a lot of aspects of the military establishment, particularly the Area 51.
Furthermore, the government is well aware of what's going on. The caller goes on to say this.
The government knows about them, and there's a lot of safe areas in this world that they could begin moving the population to now, Art.
But they're not doing anything.
They are not. They want the major population centers wiped out so that the few that are left will be more easily controllable.
After this, the show's transmission was abruptly cut off, and they had to reboot it on a backup system.
I started getting...
In some way, something knocked us off the air, and we're on a backup system now.
Art Bell was baffled by this, and went on to say in all his time hosting the show, this has never happened.
The transmitter went belly up, suddenly, for some unknown reason. I've never seen it do this in all the years that we've been on the air.
The caller wasn't necessarily the weird part. This type of stuff happens a lot, but the fact that the station got cut off midway through is what gives this credibility. For months, this event continued to unsettle people, until in April of 1998, someone called into the show claiming to be the Area 51 caller.
The east of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Hi, Art. This is Brian. Everybody, I am the Area 51 caller.
He says that he felt bad after what happened, and wanted to call in to set everything straight.
This has just been driving me bananas for months.
To prove that this was actually the same guy, Art asked him to replicate the voice he made during the Area 51 call.
So, what can I do to prove my claim here?
I guess you could give us a little of what you gave us then so that we could hear it and know it to be you.
Are you sure you want me to do that, Art?
I'm positive.
Don't, Art, please. I don't want you to ask me to do this. If I start doing that guy,
You're right about that. Now,
When he was questioned about the satellite failure, this was his response.
how do you account for the fact, Area 51 caller,
Okay.
that part of the way through your spiel, the satellite went down?
I have no idea, and it scared the heebie-jeebies out of me that night.
At this point, you would think this would just confirm that this is all a hoax, but some people weren't convinced. Many people speculated that the second caller wasn't actually the same person as the first caller, but someone the government sent in to keep people off their trail. Their evidence for this was that the two callers sounded nothing alike, and some even claimed that voice analyses had been run on the calls and confirmed that these were indeed two different people. I completely disagree with that. I tried to be as impartial as possible when listening to the two calls, and to me, they sound nearly identical. I hate saying this because I don't like invalidating other people's opinions, but it seems like people are just saying they don't sound similar because they so badly want this to be real. As for the supposed voice analysis that proved these were two different people, I've searched endlessly for that analysis, and it doesn't seem to even exist. I've even contacted multiple people who made this claim about the voice analysis, but none of them were able to provide me with the source. So until I see that, I just have to assume that was made up to keep the legend alive. Alternatively, there are people who believe this caller is the same person, but the government forced him to make this call to once again put an end to this conspiracy. There are many variations of this theory, some which include the aliens themselves replicating this guy's voice. I still don't find that very convincing. You can make up a bunch of possibilities that technically could be true, but we have no reason to actually believe them unless you can show some kind of evidence for it. I will admit though, it is really strange that the satellite went out partway through the call. Still, I think it's just a really crazy coincidence. Think of it this way. This show is filled with people like this calling in.
This is Nick, Satan, Scratch, Beelzebub, the devil, the father of lies, the enemy of righteousness, the prince of darkness.
I'm fighting this thirst for blood that I've got right now.
Some of the spirits have told me that all they really want is to be seen and to be acknowledged.
It's not crazy to think that at some point there would be a satellite malfunction. So at any point where this happens, it's probably going to be during one of these ramblings. If the malfunction happened during another call, then we'd just be talking about the other call when it happened. I also think it's important to note that if this guy seriously were telling the truth, it wouldn't make any sense for the government to end the radio transmission. If they were to just leave it alone, everyone would just think this guy was crazy. Cutting the satellite was literally the occurrence that drew more attention to this. The Area 51 caller was a very bizarre event that brought a lot of extra attention to Art Bell's Coast to Coast AM. As fun as it is to speculate on all the possibilities of this somehow being an insane government cover-up, it takes way less mental gymnastics to accept at face value that this is in all likelihood just a hoax. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the flip side.